Hello, welcome to week 8. In this week, we are going to extend on our previous class, which was the introduction to markets. So let's go to the share screen. This week's video lectures will be divided into two parts. Part one, which is happening right now, we'll revisit the previous week. We'll revisit some very important concepts, for example, the introduction to markets, and we'll revisit perfect competition. Part two of this week's video lecture will be introducing a specific market known as monopolistic competition. What are its assumptions? How is this market characterized? So let's start with revisiting the previous week. The reference is McGuigan, Managerial Economics. The file has been shared in your Facebook group, so please take it from there. In the previous class, what we did was we introduced the concept of commodity markets and matching markets. Then we said that we will start with commodity markets, then slowly relax the assumption and move on to matching markets. How did we define commodity markets? Commodity markets are markets where buyers and sellers do not need to know each other. Buyers and sellers are aware of the quality of a product. That means assumptions are information sets are symmetric. Buyers and sellers are very much aware at what price a particular commodity will sell at. Therefore, neither buyers nor sellers can influence the market. So, and then we introduced the concept of perfect competition. There we saw that perfect competition is basically a commodity market. When one of the assumptions of commodity markets, perfect competition is broken for whatever reason, then we come into matching markets. Buyers need to know something about the seller. The reverse is also true. The seller also needs to know something about the buyer. And we gave examples like a haircut. There are lots of barbers in Dhaka city who give haircuts, but that doesn't mean that we'll go to any particular shop and just go and have a haircut like we buy a bottle of Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola. Then what we did was we said that markets are defined by sellers. So if there's one seller, we call the market monopoly, two sellers duopoly, few sellers but not too many oligopoly, and then we talk about monopolistic competition. After that, what we did, we talked about a relevant market, characteristics of markets. Okay. First characteristics that we focused on was relevant market. A grocery shop, if we define the market as Dhaka city, has no market power. But a neighborhood grocery shop enjoys a geographical market power because its customers are not willing to or cannot go to another place to buy their groceries. So they'll definitely come to that local grocery shop. So how are we defining the market that a particular firm is operating in? That is the relevant market. Concentrated markets are markets where a market is divided into two components. One, we have some dominant firms or powerful firms on one end of the market, and then we have a group of small firms on the other end of the market. This type of market is what we are going to look at today. Fragmented market means the market is fragmented into many small firms. Consolidated market is a market that started off highly competitive, but the more efficient firms stayed in the market, the less efficient firms they left, and then the number of firms over time reduced in numbers. The fourth thing that we looked at was, are substitutes or complements available or not? If yes, then that is a threat to the firm who supplies this product. Next, we looked at what is the cost of entering into a market. Once we enter the market, what is the cost of leaving the market? Finally, we looked at power of buyers. Dhaka Wasa, we gave an example that it's a monopoly in the product market where it supplies water to Dhaka city, but in the factor market, the input market, it's a competitive buyer for pumps like any other firm. Then we looked at perfect competition, okay, and we gave these broad assumptions. Number one, there's many buyers and many sellers. Homogeneous product, that means the product is identical in the eyes of the consumer. Decisions are independent. Information set is symmetric. That means buyers and sellers both have the same set of information about the quality of the product. And entering the market is very low cost. The decision to leave the market is also low cost. What is the implication of perfect competition? It's a commodity market. The first type of market that we're going to start off with. Later on, we're going to slowly break the assumption. Each unit identical to all buyers and sellers. Each unit, therefore, each unit sells at the same price. No buyers or no sellers can influence market price or quality, either individually or as a group. That then market forces are nothing but demand and supply determine market outcome. So let me stop the share. So if we have a market that is characterized by perfect competition, market forces will take care of surplus production over time, deficits over time. Nobody can influence the final outcome. But the moment we introduce the concepts of relevant market and other things, then the definition of perfect competition actually doesn't stand. But like we said in the previous week and also the weeks before, perfect competition is just a benchmark, like our body temperature 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit, or benchmark blood pressure 120 by 80. This week, starting from the next video, we're going to relax some assumptions of perfect competition and see how firms in their relevant market can have market power, what advantages this market power brings, what problems this market power also brings. Thank you very much. End of part one.